Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Scion. It's been like, I don't know, 5 years. Uh, and like no one really knows what's going on. I mean, somebody might know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Uh, I think we were, I don't know. I don't know what we were doing. There
Yeah, I
was
mean,
something
go
going
We
on
ahead.
had
with
the showdown in
Sylvia,
the warehouse.
and I think we were like, we're gonna get her this time, and then we didn't
We
get
got her.
her.
No, we did.
Oh, we
We
did
got her.
get her. We got her, but we maybe that wasn't the right thing to do. But we were like, we're really onto something now. And was it like she was like, there's something bigger than me. Yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
here. I'm not
Yeah.
at the highest rung of this chain, so like this is way bigger than me. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. Well, at least we got past this rung on the ladder. Uh, and now we're pursuing the bigger fish, I guess, or we're on
It,
our
it
way
was
to try
necessarily
and.
one thing, right? It was just like it wasn't like her boss or whatever. It was like competing that was like a way bigger deal.
Yeah. He's like, I'm small potatoes. You think what I'm doing, like running around scooping up these artifacts, is a big deal? No.
Check
Like,
out this guy.
yeah, like if you really want to get somewhere and figure out like what's up, go after this guy.
And yeah, this guy's name was Hiroko.
Real cool.
Yeah.
Hero.
And so
Yeah,
we're
Hiroko Teruya.
yeah. And so we were gonna be like, hey Bill, we got a big shot to go after. We're gonna do that. Is that cool?
And yeah, I think that's kind of where we had left it off. Yeah, so to Mike's point, yeah, you all went to their warehouse. You were trying to sneak, but sneaking turned into diplomacy with Sylvia and Bogey keeping the goons distracted while the rest of you went to the back, got Cynthia, talked, yada yada. Maybe threatened a little bit, and got to the point where she was just kind of like, I know I can't handle you, and with divine sense, Carter knew that she wasn't she wasn't a Scion or anything. Like she had no non-mortal scent, and so yeah, she was just a regular person going, I don't want to get jacked up by a whole bunch of Scions. So yeah, she said, I will just keep doing what I'm doing, and you go deal with him instead. So, yeah, all right, and then on or off screen is that idea of just come back for her.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that is, I think, where we left off was you all were going to potentially meet Bill at Jill's pool hall, to talk with him about whatever. Kind of keeping in mind, I think that was a revelation at the end that it wasn't just about finding this group; it was about dealing with this group, right? Like that was kind of the the task that Bill set upon you, is to deal with what's going on. And so I guess you are all reporting back to Bill to let him know.
Remind me, did we find out who she was reporting to? Like,
So all you have based on the letter, and she had mentioned that she doesn't know any more than the letter itself. The letter is just signed the Shield, and she doesn't know who the Shield is. Like all of her correspondence comes through that. She's told where to drop things off. She sends other people because she doesn't want to, be a part of that. And so no, she just knows the Shield is her handler, and otherwise, her job is to get these birthrights, drop them off, make some money.
And we know what happened to Shield. They're very compromised, so they're clearly not good guys.
No, this is the Shield. No, it's
Oh, the Shield.
yeah, yeah, not
not an
that.
acronym,
Very different.
Not
or is it
that.
just a longer acronym? THE.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm sure we could come up with something.
Fill in. Yeah, why don't we kick it off there with, because it might also help us kind of in character recap as well. Meeting with Bill to let him know what you found out and what your next steps are. All right, what did you find out? What do you want? As he takes a big quaff of ale.
Well, we have figured out that. I mean, obviously, Cynthia was not the biggest fish. We all knew that, but we have a next rung up the ladder.
Oh,
Some
okay.
some person out of Fort Collins named Hiroko Teru.
I should put it in chat.
The words are in my notes, but I don't remember what. Hiroko
Better
Teruya. Teruya.
I haven't heard of him. It's good. Maybe. Yeah, could be good. And what did you do with her?
Well, she's still around. It was part of our. It was part of our. We figured we'd go up first, and then we can work our way back down after that.
Yeah, you don't want to shake the waters too much and then tip your hand for whatever you're trying to find out.
Yeah,
Sure, that makes sense.
she was a rather cool customer. I don't think she would have. I think if she had realized we were there to do something to her, she probably wouldn't have given up the information that she did. So, yeah, like that. We'll go up and we'll come back down later. And yeah,
Hey, that's some pretty damn good work. So this Hiroko, you're gonna go find him?
seems to be the plan at the moment.
She gave us a location, right?
The city.
So
It was a
yeah,
different-
Fort Collins.
Fort
Right.
Collins.
Which Sylvia, you do realize that guy that you were following that one time from Cynthia's house, he was heading past Denver, and Denver was past before Collins was past Denver. So
Yeah.
potentially there's some connection there of that individual.
Okay. And I'm recalling that individual was very large,
Yeah,
like abnormal, beyond human,
yeah.
typical.
I mean, not like 12 feet tall, but yes, like
But
not
large
well
person.
above average.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you need from me?
Also, there was the shield. You heard of the shield?
The shield?
Yeah, that's who Cynthia got her instructions from.
Try to look into it. I haven't heard of anybody calling themselves the shield, but
That was on a note we found in her place.
oh. She just kept the note around?
It was.
I mean, we broke in and she was not ready.
Is it a secret room? Right.
Wasn't it written in a different language that?
A language none of you have ever seen before.
But I
But Dash could
figured
read
it
it.
out.
That's
I
the
can read
reason it's a language.
Right. Yeah, it was. It was. I mean, encrypted is not the right word. It was in an archaic, maybe, language. It was written very differently.
You have a letter?
I don't know. Did we bring?
Probably.
Okay,
Up
sure.
to you. I mean, you have it somewhere, whether it's in your home or you just keep it on you. I don't know.
All right.
Sure. that
Yes,
will-
we do
yeah,
have the letter.
question. So he'll open it up in his. I haven't seen this in a long time. He reads through it, and like you can tell, he's clearly reading it. He'll pass it back. Yeah, that's that language doesn't exist anymore. Interesting.
I mean, like Latin.
No, it's like it's a pre-Greek. It's a predecessor to the ancient Greek language.
Oh, The
How long
Greeks.
have you been doing this?
Been quite a while.
Whoa.
Like pre-Greek,
I mean,
pre-Greece.
it was still. I mean, that's not what it was called in the day, but the land was still there.
Do we know any stories about you?
I mean, other than the ones I've told you, which is like none.
I don't think you've told us anything. I mean,
I think what Sylvia is asking is, have they made any movies about you?
Yes.
Oh,
Or like-
because you guys do know that he's a singer, right? You remember? I don't remember.
Yeah.
You remember it all? Okay.
Oh,
In human disguise.
didn't remember that.
Oh.
Okay.
What, you mean like that Hercules cartoon movie? No, I wasn't.
Yeah, that wasn't you.
That was not based on me. No, Phil, it's different.
That's different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, different enough.
Did you know
I
Hercules?
knew that guy. He was an asshole. They picked the right voice actor for that.
Oh,
Do you know Hercules?
I met him. He was fine.
Jeez.
Huh.
I feel like I have too many questions.
right. All of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute.
Oh, you're that old.
They're not coming out.
Well, I mean, given that, I mean, obviously it's, or maybe not obviously, but at least I can track down the idea that the shield is somehow connected to the OE. See what I can figure out.
All right.
All right.
I guess
Anything else?
we'll go to Fort Collins and see
Sure.
if we can find Hiroku.
All right. Sounds good. Good hunting. All right.
Thanks. Guy who knew Hercules.
Hit him once. I'll finish his drink and head out.
Wait, is he still around? Hercules? I mean,
Are you asking Bill?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, I'll ask Bill. That'll be one question at least.
Well,
I
he
can ask.
ascended. He
I mean,
technically
yeah.
ascended to Godhead.
Yeah, he's still around. It's a God. Does God
Yeah.
stuff.
I guess that makes sense. Does he look anything like the cartoon?
No. No, he does not. It's just a cartoon. None of the Hercules got it right. Definitely not the Kevin Sorbo version.
Well, yeah.
Which movie got it most right?
I got to be honest. I don't watch that many movies.
Oh.
I'll
You
do some
should.
research.
We were gonna watch one. We were gonna watch some. We were gonna go back and watch one later if you wanted to come over.
I'm feeling like we should go watch Clash of the Titans now. I mean,
Yeah.
just saying, I watched that one when I was a kid. That was
I mean,
good one.
we were queuing up Percy Jackson to, get the gist. Like, that was, oh, it's good.
I mean, sure. Why not? I could join you for a movie.
Nice. All right.
This is the first one. He's never joined you for anything other
Right.
than drinking here and talking about work.
All right. Well, Dash has got the nicest TV. Let's go to his house.
All right.
All of a sudden, Dash, like, he seemed like he's like puts his drink down. He seems to be getting a little nervous. Like, okay, we have like a celebrity in the house now. Okay, all right. Like, God, we cleaned up before we left, right? Everything's straightened up. We did the dishes, right?
I mean, didn't you go like straight from the busted up house? I mean, not fully, but like broken door and everything, and bloodstains on the sidewalk.
Yeah. I know. Do you think they fixed the door by now?
No, but the crime scene tape is probably still up.
Damn it. Man.
Did we spend a couple days dealing with the police or a couple hours dealing with the police?
We
It
spent
was,
like 15 minutes.
yeah, no, it was a few hours, and
Yeah, it
Bill
was-
did help with that.
Yep.
Helps to move that along. All right, so yeah, you go, you watch whatever you're gonna watch. Bill will laugh through a lot of it and just shake his head. Oh, he wasn't like that at all. He was an asshole. Everybody was an asshole to him.
I mean, we got to go Percy Jackson. That's for Josh. Remind me your character's name. I can't find it here right now.
Luke.
Luke. Slow. Just get Luke a little education. All right. Here you go, Luke. This one, man. This one's a classic. You're gonna love this one.
Well, I mean, there's a satyr. There's a satyr in that one. Did you forget that?
Yeah. I mean, that's not right. You like, look at him.
What do you mean?
They're not. That's not you. You haven't. I mean, I guess there wasn't actually like a school like this, right? But
No,
I mean, this
no.
is set in modern days. I know. Never mind. That doesn't make sense. Right?
It's a nice idea, except for the fact that like there's no dome area that's protected from Titans. Would be nice.
Smell
I'll make fun of all the actors who play the gods from the Greek pantheon. Okay. So yeah, you hang out with Bill, have some more drinks, enjoy some good times, and we lead into the next day or the next whenever. So I mean, I guess the big question is anything that we want to do before we go to Fort Collins, and just for myself, what's the big idea when we get to Fort Collins? Like, we don't need a full fleshed out plan because I know we know how that goes. You have a plan, then you start the plan at all. That's just how all our plans ever go. But like anything we want to do before we go, what's kind of a general idea once we get there to progress forward? And this could be part of the conversation that night.
I mean, it's a rare name. Start with a Google.
Yeah, you bring up Google and you do find, I mean, obviously not in Denver, but you do find individuals with that name in the world, but you're not actually finding any, sorry, not Denver, in Colorado, you're not actually finding any records of anybody in Colorado with that name.
Mm-hmm.
That just suggests maybe he's not a resident of Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not that far away. Okay.
They were like a few hours north driving.
And then, yeah, I mean, I guess maybe some research to see if we can pull up any patterns of like similar theft patterns to what we experienced with Cynthia. If it's a bigger thing, like you would think that, I would think that, yeah, that a similar type of patterns of like, especially thefts that are seem like very like weird and targeted and like, I don't know how well those get reported, but
Yeah, and so yes, and I was wondering if we get there. So yeah, there are a few things, and this might take a few days to kind of put together collectively or individually to kind of start piecing together. Yeah, like there's this newspaper reporting about this theft at a museum. There's this newspaper reporting about how something went missing on a transport, and they're all, I mean, with Cynthia, they're just kind of stealing stuff. Sometimes those birthrights, but even those birthrights kind of seem like relatively mundane items. These are all much more clearly valuable more antique, ancient items. So yes, this is definitely a higher level job that's being run, and there doesn't necessarily seem to be a pattern to it. It's not like all museum or this museum. It's not this transport company. There's a number of different transports that were moving things across the U.S. and it happened somewhere around Fort Collins. It wasn't necessarily in Fort Collins, but like this transport was going an hour or two away from Fort Collins, and it got hit. But the thing is, it's not like it got like the transport was held up. It was that things went missing, and kind of tracing back, it passed by Fort Collins. So I mean, this is an operation that isn't just like smash and grabbing things, but certainly stealing things of value. And based on what you've been doing, you can assume at least some of them are birthrights.
Definitely seems to be a higher quality of thief. Maybe even somebody with beyond human gifts.
Yeah, like there's just a lot there.
Any ideas, strategies we could go? I mean, we can go talk to somebody who, I don't know, find one of these that somebody's got more information than the others and see if we can start going down that path and see if we can work our way up the chain, find.
I mean, there's got to be some breadcrumbs somewhere. I mean, if things are getting stolen, I'm sure they've reported them to the police at some point. So, I mean, if at the very least we could figure out an end that way.
I mean, I'd rather get the first-hand account than talk to the police, if that's what you mean.
Well, but the police could lead us to where we needed to go. Because we don't even know. We're going to get to Fort Collins, and it's not a huge place, but we're not going to go knocking door to door in Fort Collins.
No, we could hit that museum. I mean, that one, we know where that happened. Or
we could go to Lily Lake, but like
one of these had an eyewitness that, I don't know, I'm making whatever. There are a couple people who are named in these articles. We could go.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that part. I got you. Okay.
I'm wishful thinking this.
You're using your power of all of a sudden something just appears. I got you.
I must.
Gary's name just appeared, and
look right here.
Oh, and it's a map that
has his address.
Right. And all of his weaknesses are just written in the margins. If only that power worked that way. Yeah, I mean, no eyewitnesses, but yes to the rest. Like there are clear individuals that were spoken to in any of the ones that were in news articles. So yeah, there are some buried names that you could find for some of what you've been looking at.
Well, then yeah, we'll start there then.
Yeah, we can. I mean, we pick a recent one that might have a better chance of, memories are fresh and trail's not quite as cold.
And we said that there's not like a consistent company, right? It's not the same targeted company, so we can't just hope for the best.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, so thinking of recency, there is a collector up in Fort Collins, a private collector. It's not a museum, but somebody who collects antiques. And so that was one of the more recent ones. They have a name. I'll get there at some point. Let me go do a random name, Bart Simpson random name generator. The other more recent one, though it wouldn't be in Fort Collins, was a transport. They were transporting a number of exhibit items from Smithsonian out to somewhere west that would happen, because I don't know museums that well. from East Coast to West Coast. They pass through, for whatever reason, the Denver area. So those are the two more recent ones. And so that one would be contacting like the transport company and trying to talk to that driver who, he said at least that he had no idea anything was missing until he got there. There's nowhere along his route that anything should have gone missing. Because like even going through weigh stations and everything, weight never changed in transport. So private collector or truck driver are your at least two of, if you want to keep exploring other options. Those are two options or recent.
Any ideas where we should start?
We could take them both.
I think the collector sounds more promising, but who knows? Yeah, both sounds good.
They took it from the truck though. The driver made.
I mean, the article didn't seem like he sounded like he knew much, but maybe he knows a little more than.
Well, even if he says something like a deer ran across the road at the exact moment where all of a sudden, I mean, those coincidences happen.
Okay. Well, if we know the location, I can, I might be able to take a look back and see what happened.
I'd
Yeah,
like
it wasn't
to go through the collection.
saying like
I'd like to go through the collection.
All right.
To Fort Collins.
Road trip.
Collins road trip. Woo, woo. You all had hop in the Scooby-Doo van, or however you're transporting bus. And yeah, I mean it's a nice leisurely ride up interstate. And so yeah, no issues getting to Port Collins. Yeah, you are there now. As far as the truck driver, they're not in Fort Collins. You can do a little bit of work to be able to get a phone number and be able to contact. But he's you don't know where he is. You could assume he's out driving a truck somewhere and not necessarily in Colorado. So you could chase that down. It would just end up being a phone call. All right, what are we doing in Fort Collins?
Yeah, go see if we can find the collector.
Okay. You
You guys are up for that?
Yeah. So you can find the collector. It's well, let me get a name, random name generator.
Jackson Johns.
It's May Watts. I'll put that in chat so that I don't forget it too quickly.
No.
And so yeah, so May Watts, she has in her private residence, and it's quite a nice residence. She's known to have a private collection of various antiques. She will sometimes allow groups for the right price to come and take a look, as if in a museum, what have you, but it's not open to the public. But I mean, you can get where she lives. If you just want to go knock on the door, I don't know if you had some other type of approach you wanted to take in approaching May Watts.
Do we know anything about her other than she collects things? Can we find things out? Find us where she'd want to be, and then be where she wants to be, and then we could meet up where she wants to be, rather than us going to where she doesn't want other people to be. Because
So no, you don't know that much about her. Because she's not necessarily a big presence. She doesn't. It's not like she's got a website for come check out my stuff. The local, yeah, I guess the local government has like a page, like small business owner type page of like, hey, for interesting events, you can contact May to be able to go see this private collection of assorted antiques. I keep coming back to the word, and I just can't find a better word tonight. And so no, so it's not like, oh yeah, she's always at this coffee shop at this time, or she works here. And you like, there's nothing. She's not popular enough to go find like where she works. Looking on social media, you're not even finding her there. It's not necessarily that she's completely off grid, just not a big enough name to have a presence to follow. Just more that local knowledge of, oh yeah, this is that lady that has a bunch of money and a bunch of cool stuff in her house.
Can you like bring her something cool? She might like that. People like presents.
Let's go knock.
Or
If we had Bill, we could have shown her Bill.
In his human form, he doesn't look that unique.
Yeah, but if you're a collector, you can tell he's an old soul.
It's true. He's got deep eyes.
I mean, don't we all have things?
yeah, yeah.
But from what I understood, aren't most of ours newish? Like made for us or tailored for us?
I'm just saying, she's a collector.
Well,
It may pique your interest. It may be a good little piece of bait, if nothing else. She finds out that these 5 people came asking random questions, and they all had these very unique items. If she's a collector herself, I'm sure she delves in that collector's market. Word spreads. Maybe Hiroku comes to us.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Make us somewhere that he wants to be.
I mean, I don't know how influential she actually is, or how powerful, or but if she's a collector of rare things, which is what it seems like she is, she would be interested in, well, I'm guessing she'd be interested in at least what I have, and I'm assuming what all of us have. I mean, and I point to Luke. That's pretty interesting. I'm just saying.
yeah, that might be too much, though. I don't know if she really knows about the.
And it's not a matter of whether she knows or not.
Well, just like she's a collector of items. I don't know that, like, she knows what she had, right? Like, she's
not a collector of like lore. Like, she doesn't know about the confluence necessarily. Like, what if she does? Like, is that why we're here? But like, I don't think she does.
I'm just throwing out an idea.
Yeah.
If we go visit her,
No, I think that like we have
calls up her buddy and
things.
she calls up her buddy and says 5 guys who all had interesting things and interesting stories to tell just visited me, and then that buddy calls another buddy, and that buddy calls another buddy, and then
She got robbed, right? Like, so like I don't think that he's her buddy.
He's saying as a buddy of a buddy of a buddy of a buddy.
Oh,
Or just
and then word gets
a
around.
At 6
Fort
degrees,
Collins is not that big of a place. I mean, it's
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
true.
so we spend a couple days here. We get to know the sites.
Why we maybe want to lay a little bit low too. Not
No.
go.
I
Just
mean,
make ourselves known. Why wouldn't we want to make ourselves known?
Well, our intentions are the opposite of Hiroku's.
Okay. So that brings us into contact with them, which is exactly what we're here for.
Unless he just chooses to avoid.
Nah.
so like, I think that Heroku is like, I think that he knows things that Cynthia like didn't really know.
Agreed.
Like she knew about it, but like I think he knows, you know. So like if a bunch of people show up with birthrights that they're like, hey, look at these birthrights we've got, like, yeah, it's a whole other interest in his part then, because it's not like we've got stuff, but like we are stuff.
And I think ultimately we're trying to get to the top of that food chain we've been talking about. So we got to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not the top. So then where's it going to go from there?
Right.
Do we know that he's not working for the Shield too, or
Probably.
Probably is.
We can ask him when we meet him.
He's probably not going to be like hiring people off the street.
so we knocking on her door and then trying to see if we can just talk sweet, and then if we get desperate, then we start showing her all our cool stuff, and if that doesn't work, then we just show her the crystal buried in his chest. And when she faints, we'll go search her house.
Yeah, or you could just jab her with one of those needles and then we could just, go search the house after that.
It's awfully simple.
Like, you don't want to do that as step one.
I mean, it's not the cheapest stuff.
I mean, or we could scope it out. We could lay low and sit outside a residence for a little while and see who comes and goes. And
I mean, I might be able to figure something out just by getting outside there.
And also keep in mind, she is open to hosting private events if you want to go that route. Maybe you don't. Maybe you caught that and you're like, no, we don't want to pay to get in her house. That is,
we can do that if we need to, if that's what we want to do.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
Wouldn't that be like the easiest way to do this?
Yeah,
That's the easiest way to do it.
it'd be legit.
a private viewing.
Yeah, I mean, it would be legal.
But I mean, so these private events, we have to act a certain way.
Just
Well,
fine.
not if it's just us. Like if we're the private event, we don't have to be there with other people. Then it's not private. Then it's just an event. But like if it's just us, then it's private.
Unless she has, an armed guard we don't know about.
Well, but then we would know about it as opposed to like if we go up and we're like, hey, and then he's like, hey, I'm an armed guard that just surprised you.
Right.
Makes a fair point.
He's probably fine. And she.
She.
No, the armed guard.
Oh, that's true. Could be he or she. Okay. So what's the play? Are we knocking? We calling and setting up a private event and seeing whether or not there's a guard when we get there, or surveilling outside the house with our, our car open to the sky?
I guess she probably has a good security system.
It'd be interesting to know how it was bypassed, and we can go and just say, "Hey, we're investigating we're private investigators that are been looking into a series of robberies like these." Just go that route and say we can ask her some questions and say we're hoping to maybe get it back for her or something.
Well,
That's all true. Also, like, oh, that's true.
yeah, didn't that actually happen with the chick at the museum when Dash lost a leg?
Dash lost a leg. Did I miss something?
You remember that time you
stabbed Dash in the leg,
Alright.
just making it more dramatized over time. It's been long enough that we can turn it into a legend.
I mean, Carter's had to listen to it for like 3 years now, so
It was a small dose of. Barely gave him hiccups.
But we can bring that up because that is something that we were a part of.
So what's the play?
What do you guys think? Private investigators, fancy tourists, or whatever you call them.
Do we actually look fancy enough to pull that off?
Snoop.
well, I mean, if you give me a couple hours, I can call Kavi, and he can bring us some stuff, and we can make ourselves look a little more presentable.
Fancy? I'm in for that. We're all getting dressed up.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, I we could go that route.
That sounds like that could be in a movie. Let's go. let's get our black tie on.
I mean,
Is that the play?
It sounds like it.
Okay, yeah. You call up Kavi. Kavi, hey, we need these are the measurements. Of course, no. I mean, of course, nobody brought a suit. I mean, I brought a suit, of course. I assume Dash brought a suit, but like nobody else brought a suit. So yeah, Kavi will come up. He's already has everyone's measurements, of course, and brings all of you some fine garments. Obviously, you're not going at that moment because you'll still have to contact her to set it up.
Cool. We'll reach out and see if we can set something up.
Yeah, who's calling? Who's doing the bard part this time?
It's always Bogey, I thought, or Dash. They have
Luke, why don't you cut your teeth on this one?
I don't think that's a good idea.
We all got to start somewhere, so.
well, so what are we expressing to her that we want to see? Just her collection? We'd like to arrange a
private meeting to come and admire her collection and talk about it.
Are we interested in anything beyond that? Are we interested in, like, trade, buying? Because I mean, these are questions that'll probably come up. I mean, she's a collector, that's true, but everybody has their price. So,
I mean, I don't know how expensive it is. If I see something I really like, I might buy it, but I can't afford what she's got.
all right. Well, what's her number?
Got her number.
I'll call her.
Hard to find. Like I said, in the local business page, it's got May Watts. You call her up, rings a couple times, and hello.
May Watts, please.
Yes, of course, that is me. How may I help you?
Yes. I'm interested in. Well, I hear that you are someone in Fort Collins who collects things and has a nice collection, and that for well, we should be able to arrange a time to come and see what it is that you have.
Oh, yes, my little sweet. Of course, of course. Yeah. How many of you would like to come?
There will be 5 of us.
Very good and wonderful, wonderful. And
Well,
what
my driver will drop us off, but the 5 of us will come in.
will your driver be joining you?
No, he'll just wait.
Oh, perfect, Dumpling, perfect. Well, so is there any particular items that you wanted to see while you were here?
Nothing. Trying to think back. Did we have like any type of items? Okay.
Do we know what the item was that was stolen in this?
Yes, you do. You do. There are a few items that were stolen, and yes, you do. And I described them at some point.
Things from like that era, those types of things.
Is there a particular pantheon that these items may be associated with?
Yes, these. Well,
even if not all of them, like
Era.
a couple of them.
sure. Yeah, and it would be a couple of them. So some would be more connected to like the Tuathuan, so more Celtic type items, and another set. So she's a little bit of an eclectic collector. Would be connected more to the Netir, the Egyptian pantheon. And there's others as well, but like those are kind of the 2 more prominent aspects of her collection. Oh, Johnny might have frozen.
Absolutely.
Do we know the date and time of the robbery, or approximate time of the robbery?
Yeah, as far as recency goes, this was probably 2 to 3 months ago. I mean, I guess I have a date. It was 2.5 months ago.
Okay.
To the day.
The day. Yeah. That was it.
Oh, there's a Johnny. I see him moving.
It's me.
It's you. So yes, the Tuathuan and the Egyptian, the Netir, are more prominent. There are other pieces in there as well that aren't necessarily connected to those cultures of more Celtic and more Egyptian. But that is a more prominent aspect of the 2 sides of her collection.
Yeah. So I'm well, the group that I'm with, I have
Birthrights were stolen from both. So it wasn't centered on one or the other. Like,
okay.
Items were stolen. We assume birthrights from both pantheons.
The group I'm with, they're rather well, you know how they can be. Some of them are like, we'd like to see something from, you know, the Celtic region, you know, the region that, you know, the UK area, and then others like, no, we want to see like ancient Egyptian, and so they're all, yeah. So again, I'm more of a facilitator than anything, but I would, you know, if you have things that are in that vein.
Oh, yes, very good pudding. Of course we do. Of course we do. That's my cup of tea. Absolutely. So wonderful, wonderful. So 5 of you, 1 driver sitting out front. That's fine. We don't have to charge for him. And, I mean, I'm relatively open. Probably this week, and maybe in a few days. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're in town. We're not local by any means, but we can certainly hang around for a couple days if we need to.
Oh, lovely, Duckling. All right, so why don't you come on by, and we'll have maybe a 2-hour showing. You can take a look at some things. We can talk through it. If there's anything that you particularly are interested in, you let me know. Maybe we can arrange something. If you have anything to bring, feel free to bring it. I'm always looking, and we can we can have a wonderful chat.
Very good, very good. So you'll send me the date and time.
Yes, Yes, of course. Yeah, so she'll give you a date and time. It takes a little bit longer in her ducklings and conversation and
Yeah.
names. And she gives you a price. Generally, I've avoided like number prices. She gives you a price that like you can afford, Dash.
Mhm.
Probably the rest couldn't. So it's definitely like this is definitely a more expensive experience.
Right.
And you're like, oh, okay. I mean, it's not breaking your bank, but like, you might take it a little bit easier on purchases for a little bit.
Yeah. We'll go easy on the Taco Tuesday for a little while.
Oh, tacos are fine. Tacos are cheap.
But the fancy tacos. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Tacos.
We gotta skip sour cream for a few weeks.
Right.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
Anything
Great.
anybody wants to do in particular in the next couple of days in or around Fort Collins before we jump to May's house?
She's very pleasant. She may call you a duckling a few times, but she's very pleasant.
So, Sylvia, are you getting the same vibe I am?
What's that?
Old lady from James Cameron's Titanic.
Yeah, a little bit. I see it. Yeah.
I'm just letting you know, if she has a Model T somewhere in that house, I am walking out that door. I'm sorry, Dash.
And I will relay that she does seem to be interested in both buying and selling. So she's not just a collector. I mean, obviously collectors will buy, but it also seemed like she might be interested in selling if we could afford anything. So she's not just a collector.
Okay. Good to know. All right, we get really fancy.
Yeah, you get decked out. I mean, Kavi brought the good stuff. Everything fits way better than it should for the fact that you never took your measurements. And so yeah, you go at oh boy, what do we got here? So sure, goat's blood. I mean, not with you, I assume. You're just asking in general if you have the jar.
I didn't know. I thought that was one of the things that we took. The jar.
Oh,
of
no, we gave that to Bill.
Ah, son of a.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, I've got a brooch that summons bees.
Yes.
You have a brooch
Yes.
that summons bees.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And do you have the EpiPen that goes along with it?
I pin that thing right on the nice dress.
Okay.
But it did look like a bumblebee. I can't remember. Like,
I thought it was a hive.
it's something bee like.
Yeah, I thought it was a hive. I thought it looked like a hive.
Hey, y'all got that off the guy or the person who attacked us in our house, right?
Yep.
Mhm. And you haven't really had a chance to study it yet.
Oh, I did that for the week then.
Oh, there you go.
A few days we were here.
I might have, if things went well, I might have bee stings that I'm covering up with makeup.
Sorry, I had to check something. Yeah, so it is a birthright. It summons bees. What you can't quite tell out of, well, actually, fuck that noise. Let's see what you can tell about it. Go ahead and roll for your research in the week. Occult and intellect. That's not bad for you at all. And yeah, nothing in your specialties would help that. So occult and intellect.
Right.
Okay,
That's
so
a number.
that's a number. That's a pretty good number. So so yes, you find out a number of things beyond the things you already knew. It is a birthright. It can summon swarms of bees. You identify that the summoning swarms of bees is activated as you kind of go through like what do I know about our relics and how do they work and how do they activate. It activates with some type of keyword, but you don't know what that is. And currently don't have access to the cultist that was using it. I don't think you killed them. I think they're off in jail. It also has access to a purview, but you don't have enough experience with birthrights that aren't yours to be able to understand like what purview is this attached to, and therefore be able to tap into it and utilize it. It is of the Tuath one, like it's one of their birthrights. Someone in that pantheon's family tree. Yeah. So that is kind of the aspect of its power and a little bit of its lore. You can find out the other things, over time, but those will require probably more conversations, right? Because you could try to just guess the keyword.
I'll try a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you try a lot, and like you try everything you could think of, and everything from you even try like open sesame, and like you can't. You have not yet brute forced the keyword that summons bees.
Spent the rest of your week getting frustrated, going back at it again.
Yeah.
You're actually going to do it one day when we're in the car and the bees are all going to come out of the car.
5 individuals killed on Fort Collins, on road into Fort Collins.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. Anything else before we go fancy and go meet with May? Okay. So yeah, you show up at May's doors, and it's a very nice house. And it has an addition that is basically the same size as the house. You arrive on time, and she comes out and greets you, as you enter through the gate into the long driveway. And she greets you and, welcome, my sweets. Hello. Oh my, don't you all look lovely? And she's dressed nicely as well. Maybe not as nicely as you are, because we're maybe expecting you to, but like, yeah, she's ooh, well, oh, you all look absolutely lovely. That was not necessary, but darlings, I love it. She's an older lady, but she's not Titanic old. So she's maybe in her early mid 60s, and a little bit under average height, so maybe a little bit over 5 feet. And just seems, very, very nice, and open and kind of excited for you all to be there. Oh, come, please, into my exhibit. Oh my gosh, my life's conquest. I am so excited to show you. Please come in, my darlings, my sweets. And so she'll lead you into, it's obviously a little bit newer than the house. That's how you know it's an addition. But again, like, this thing's huge, and it is built to be a small museum. So you enter in, and it's what you would expect.
Whenever she allows me to talk, I'll break in with like, "Oh, your house is magnificent. This is beautiful." I'll just start commenting on things as we're going in, just like,
"Oh, darling, this thing, it's nice. It's nice enough. It's nothing like my house in Cabo, but it does for when I need to get away."
I understand. Yes.
So you enter in, and she does. She doesn't really seem to take a breath. She continues to go and go. If you like kind of show any interest that you want to jump in, like, she's very aware and will pause. But otherwise, she starts going into oh, this piece that I found here, oh my gosh, I had to pay this much for it. And she'll always tell you how much she paid for everything, and kind of go through the story of it. And so she's basically telling the story of her collection as she goes through, and she starts you out towards the Egyptian section and kind of works her way around. But she'll just continue to go and continue to talk about it, and it's very interesting. It's parts of it are history of the piece, parts of it are history of its ownership in more recent years, including hers, and of course, there's always a little story about how she got it and why it's so meaningful to her. And she seems genuine. So for those of you that have, the basic understanding of basic empathy, she seems very genuine. Not like she's a salesperson trying to like upsell any of these things. You don't actually get the sense that she's trying to sell anything. She's just so excited to tell you about it.
I will listen with great interest.
What's the security look like? Is it pretty solid, or is it?
Yeah, so I think I am trying to, as she's talking, I'm sort of trying to keep her like focus on me the most and let these guys kind of and Sylvia like, do their like scope things out. So I'm talking to her nonstop, and when she gets to the Egyptian section, I'd be like, oh, like Bogey and Carter here, like they were the ones who were like most interested in the Egyptian exhibit, so like but I'll keep kind of redirecting as we go, just to give them
the ability to not be drunk this time. So you will notice both outside and inside, plenty of high quality security cameras. So I mean, there were security cameras for the driveway, there were security cameras for that door and around the perimeter, and they're not super evident, they're big bulky, but like there's clear camera evidence. She key carded in to get into this area, and it's clear that getting out also requires a key card. So it closes behind you, and there's no handle on the door. There's a key card to get out, to swipe your way out. So like this is clearly not just like a lock picking situation. There are no handles in or out of this place. So yeah, the security is, security's not nothing, as far as that goes. Other wonderings?
Is there a spot where we can tell that something was stolen? Like, is there like a shelf that's got the missing thing, or
And we got the story said it was stolen from her house, right?
Yes. Yeah, it was stolen from here.
It was stolen from me. Okay.
Right. No, you're not seeing. There's no gaps, right? There's no displays that are empty. But it also does seem like the displays could be moved. So it's entirely possible that a display was removed to avoid it being empty. But you're not necessarily seeing any evidence of that. So, but no, you're not seeing like oh, hey, that's got like a tag next to it of what it is, but there's nothing there. There's none of that. Like, it is very well curated by men. So Mike, to your question from chat. So yes, well, hopefully he'll be back. So yes, as you enter and you start looking around, and at this point, you don't necessarily even register. It's just part of the normal life for you. But there is a ghost kind of walking around the Celtic section, just kind of very interestedly, like looking at all these things, like you would see somebody in a museum, like just kind of walking around and taking a look and checking, much like some of you are as you're kind of going, or some of them are, and I potentially as well, as they're going, like starting in the Egyptian section. So yeah, there is a ghost over in the Celtic section, kind of just taking a nice look at these things.
I'll see if I can sort of go over and see what he's up to.
Yeah, I mean, so, one, with Desh keeping her attention, and two, like she kind of looks over and she seems fine with you walking over. I mean, again, seeing all the security, it doesn't seem like she's too worried about a bunch of people that paid a bunch of money to be here. So yeah, you can walk on over to Celtic section, and he's taking a look at a sword that is up on a mantle, behind glass, and just kind of studying it and taking a detailed look at it, putting his head through the glass to get a closer look, and then bringing it back out.
So this is a really neat collection, isn't it? It's like I've never seen anything like this.
And at first he doesn't respond at all. You say that, and he continues to look. Not that he necessarily can't hear you.
Right.
He'll be able to hear you. Other ghosts can hear you, but he's just still looking.
Yeah, I'll look along with him.
And he starts to move on to the next thing.
Yeah. When he's between things, then I'll try chatting with him a little bit.
Go ahead.
So we're only here for a little bit, but like, are there some things I should check out while we're here?
And at that, he pauses and he looks at you. His eyebrows go up because you're looking at him. You talking to me?
Yeah, but like, I'm Bogey. Who are you?
You can see me?
Yeah.
How can you see me?
You're right there.
Nope. Nobody else sees me. And this isn't like this has happened before. Like some ghosts are more familiar with people who can. Some ghosts are completely unfamiliar. This is obviously a ghost who is unfamiliar with a concept that anybody could ever see.
Like, yeah, I'm sorry to like sneak up on you, but like, hi.
Hi. Are you like transition me from here?
Do you want to be transitioned from here?
Yeah. I mean, eventually that's how it works, right?
Well, like, if
Like,
you
am I a
want,
ghost forever?
it's voluntary.
I didn't choose this.
They didn't not choose it, but like, do you want to not be here? Like, do you want to be somewhere else? Do you want to be like, do you want to like move on to the underworld, or like, do you want to like go to a different?
I'm not going to hell. I don't want to go to hell.
No, not hell, the underworld, like where ghosts ghosts live. Ghosts are.
How's that not hell? I'm going down.
It's I think that you got there's no like what you're thinking of isn't a thing, but like the thing that you're also thinking of also isn't a thing, so it's kind of strange. But like,
But like, I could stop being a ghost.
yeah,
Yeah. You're the first person I've talked to in I don't know how long it's been.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, what's your name?
Bill. No, Bill. We already got a Bill.
Billy.
Billy. Chris.
William.
Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Hi.
Is there anything since we're here? But like, do you want to come with us when we leave?
Like you're going to the underworld?
I can get you there, but like not immediately, but like sooner than you'd probably get there on your own.
Okay. Is it like Ghostbusters? Do you need to put me in a toaster or something?
No, we'll just like walk.
Oh, okay.
But like while we're here, like here, not like here, but like here. Is there anything that we should like check out while we're here?
Oh, I mean, this is all cool stuff. I come here most days just because it's fascinating to look at this history, and especially when she has a group like you all. Like I love just hearing her talk about this history.
Yeah. Like what things have you learned? I heard there was a little interesting something happened here. Some got taken or something.
Oh, yeah, that was weird. I, I mean, I guess this is like valuable stuff, but yeah, it's strange. Yeah, I mean, I saw there was a guy who came in here and took a few things, and he left.
What was that like?
It was weird. I couldn't do anything. Like I
What do you
wanted
mean?
to stop him, and I told him to stop, but I can't. I can't.
Yeah. But did he like come in like we did, or did he come in like
I didn't actually see him come in. I was, I was looking at some of the Egyptian pieces over there, and then all of a sudden I heard a noise, and I looked, and he was taking a piece that was here, and he points to where the sword is, but now the sword's there instead.
weird?
Yeah.
Did you see how he left?
Yeah. I mean, he just went through the door.
Like through it or like through?
I mean,
Like you would walk through the door, or like I would walk through the door.
like you would walk through the door.
Did he have a key card, or you could just open it?
I don't think he had a key card.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yes.
Was all this security here then?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. First time I came here, I thought the cameras would see me. I didn't know if cameras could see me. But like nothing's happened, so I assume that they can't.
Was it like a really big guy?
No, I don't think he was that big. Like probably no bigger than you.
Solid. All right, all right. I won't keep you from your studies.
Yeah,
Well, like,
well, yeah.
You should come with us when we leave. Like, just leave with us.
Oh, okay.
All right, cool.
Thanks.
Like, is there any snacks you want to be in here?
Snacks?
Yeah, like stuff you want to have around while you're around us.
I don't think I eat snacks.
Yeah, but you can like be in your room. It's like that positive energy, you know.
No, I think I'll be okay.
All right, it's cool.
Okay, so while Pokey is off talking to himself, what are the rest of you doing?
Drew, you're muted.
So do we see him walk off and like start talking to himself, or
I mean, you see him walk off. I guess Pokey, like I don't know how evident or how inconspicuous you're trying to be.
Like half inconspicuous, half just sort of gesturing and chatting around, not loudly.
Okay, so yeah, you're not hearing the conversation, but you are seeing Bogey. You've seen him talk before. You talk to him all the time. He's clearly talking, but there's no one there. But I think, I mean, Bogey, I mean, you can correct this, but I think, because we kind of like have been sharing things, I think they know you can talk to people who aren't there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you know he can talk to ghosts. May not be your first thought, but it may become a thought as he continues. Like, oh yeah, he can talk. Oh, ghost.
He doesn't usually talk to ghosts, but sometimes it's handy to talk to him.
Right. So yeah, again, it might not be your first thought. You might be like, oh, he's finally lost it, like the rest of it. But yeah, at some point you might realize, nah, he's having a conversation. Maybe there's a ghost, because yeah, it's not often that he's talking to ghosts.
And if I happen to see that, or like over her shoulder, I really turn on the like that. I mean, I'm really like schmoozing this up. Like, oh wow, hold on. You said this was from which era? Like which Egyptian era? Like, hold on. Like, I don't. So like, I'm just totally like.
And always
I'm seeing
keeping her
Bogey,
between you and Bogey, so she's always looking at you and never behind her.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, tell me about this. Yeah. So.
You schmooze well.
I do schmooze well.
I'll go over to
Anything
Bogey and ask you, who are you talking to?
Chris,
I'm sorry, who?
Chris,
Christ?
Chris,
Chris. Who's Chris?
Chris, it's Chris.
Oh, a ghost?
Yes.
Does he know anything?
Yeah.
Awesome. What do you got? What does he know?
He saw the whole thing happen, man. He was here. He was in the room when it happened.
I think it passed the security.
He didn't see him like come in, but like he just like grabbed something that was right where that Celtic sword is now.
So also he didn't see the
And then
whole
just
thing. He saw.
walked with it.
How did he leave?
Through the door. He just like walked out through the door.
But you have to swipe out.
He just walked out. But he went like through the door like us, not like Chris.
Can Chris hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he likes listening to her stories.
Oh. Hi, Chris. All right, that's great. So we got. I mean, is it like a regular person? Like is it a Scion? Is it?
Like I guess probably, but like he didn't see him. He didn't see him come in. He only saw him leave. He just like walked out.
I mean, if he just walked out, they probably just walked in. Probably had a card or.
Yeah, he could have had a card. Yeah, it's true. Like he could have had a card. Chris, you didn't see him like swipe in, did you?
No, I would walk.
I mean, like swipe out, like with a
No.
card.
I didn't see him swipe out. He just
Just
up
walked
to
out.
the door and pushed it open.
Yeah, he just pushed the door open. That's what I thought you said. Thank you.
Yeah, and then like the key, the swipe is a few feet away. It's like there's a clear reach to swipe and then come to the door. So it's not like you could have just like, oh, I missed it. Like,
Okay.
clear, evident key swipe.
So he very obviously didn't do that.
He very obviously did not do that to exit.
So he's got some sort of like.
But he couldn't have just like pushed it open because that would have tripped the alarm. And so he was like able to open it without setting off the alarm.
Yeah, I mean, they either had to disable it, or maybe he's got some weird ability to, I don't know, disrupt security systems or something, or bypass them. I don't know what.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
It's scary, but yeah, it's also cool. So, any other like tattoos, identifying features? Like, what like? We need to figure out who this guy is. And
Oh yeah. Like, is there any way that we could like, if we saw him, then way that would be like, oh yeah, this is the guy.
You asked him, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh no, like he had on like dark clothing and a hood. Like I didn't really get a good look at him. He, I mean, he had a hood up, but his hair was a little bit longer and dark. Does that help? It was long enough I could see it out of the hood, and it was dark, like black.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's something more to go on than we had a minute ago. Yeah. Bogey will relay that to Sylvia. Well, you should probably like get back with the group though.
Hey, oh. Okay.
Anything else we want to talk with May about or check out while we're here? Or any questions we want to bring to May? So, I mean, so far it's just been a pleasant, normal conversation. I didn't know if at any point you wanted to talk about the theft.
I mean, oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I mean, as we like, you know, getting close to the end of the rounds, you know, I will kind of look around at, you know, the security, and you have some these are very fine pieces. Is your security adequate?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We've rarely had a successful break-in. This, my sweet, is top of the line, and it has been wonderful. It's been lovely. Direct connection to the police. If anything happens, they know about it. They come right away. I've tested it. Not that they like that, but I've tested it once per month, and it works. It works very well.
Rarely?
Oh, yes, darling. A couple months back, I don't know what happened. A few pieces went missing one evening. They were there, and then the next day I came in to appreciate them and love them and give them positive energy, and they were gone, my sweet. They were just gone. I don't know how. I checked the cameras and I checked the video feeds. Nothing. And I checked the logs for the doors opening and closing, for the key. Nothing. I have no idea. I was flabbergasted.
Did you get them back?
No, they're still gone. And I've put out a reward for them, and I still have not seen them or heard of them. Nobody's asked for a ransom. They were just stolen. And my darling, I could not tell you how. Now, I've told the police, though. I have told them repeatedly, and they are layabouts. They will not do anything about it.
Yeah. The police tend to leave us to handle our own problems, don't they?
Yes. Just because I can afford security doesn't mean I should have them do everything.
Well, exactly. And they have to stay here. I mean, obviously, they have to stay here and
Right. Now, I've called them, and they've told me at this point, lady, they'd said this to me, lady, just don't worry about it. It's not worth it. They don't know what those are worth to me.
oh,
Yeah.
that's
So like, what would they take?
They took, and so describe 5 pieces. 3 of them Celtic, 2 of them, one of them Egyptian, and 1 Greek.
And they didn't take anything else, but like they were in here and they could have taken anything in a great big bag.
Oh, I suppose, dear. Yes. But no, they liked those pieces. I can't blame them, because those were lovely pieces, let me tell you. And they were not cheap to come by, and they were difficult to come by. They were wonderful pieces. I loved coming to see those pieces. But yes, apparently they have great taste, and they took my objects.
And your cameras didn't pick it up?
No, that's the strangest thing. For whatever reason, the cameras didn't cut out. The cameras didn't skip time. Nothing you've seen in the movies that didn't. Nobody recorded the night before or night after. Like, for whatever reason, nothing showed up. Not even the door opening and closing. Nothing.
The door did open and close, though, right?
I mean, I would assume.
That is strange.
Very strange, my dear. If it weren't the fact that I was robbed, I'd be interested.
If it weren't for the what?
If it weren't for the fact that I were robbed, I would just be, wow, interested.
Oh.
Wow, isn't that amazing?
Oh.
But they took my things.
Can you see the things being there and then like not being there?
See, a little touched. She'll say to you, Dash.
A little bit. Just roll with it. You'll get there eventually.
But I mean, like they're there until they're not. But like, can you see when they're not there anymore?
Yes, the cases were clearly empty, my little one.
No, the cases were empty, but can you see when they go from being a case with something in it to a case without something in it?
Oh, you mean in the video?
Yeah.
Oh, that is much more clear. Now I understand. No, that is strange as well. When the feed comes back around to the new morning, they're just gone. All at once.
They're there all night and then just gone in the morning?
Yes.
Like, huh. So like when did they get stolen then?
I wish I could tell you. But Chris will tell you it was early dusk. I mean the sun hadn't fully set yet. No, I couldn't tell you because there's nothing on the videos. There's nothing to tell me. I can just tell you one day they were there and they were being lovely, and the next day they weren't there and I was sad.
So they're like, they could have been gone all night.
Have I ever heard about any of this? Like anything through my time away about people having that ability?
Well, you do recognize. I mean, they're you all recognize. While you have an understanding of your abilities, you also understand there's a wealth of abilities out there you may not even know about. So it is well within the realm of possibilities that yes, this is connected to somebody with some type of powers like yours, and yes, there are all kinds of abilities out there. Whether that is more innate, like some of your abilities, whether that's connected to something with power that might allow them to do it, that isn't naturally like a natural ability, but something or a collection of something that made it possible for someone to pull off something like this. So yes, it's entirely possible that this could have happened. Not like she's making it up in some way.
But it's not too possible for this to happen without some power.
Yes, without some, it's either she's completely lying or some power. But yeah, it's not a. I've got a special request. Hold on.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that.
There we go. I had to get a special bogey on. Okay. Special bogey's on.
Thanks.
Yep.
Are you? I mean, are you? Have you? Are you trying to get them back?
Oh, Dumpling, of course I'm trying to get them back. I have reward posters out there. I've told my security, do whatever they need to within the law to get them back. But nobody's seen them, nobody's heard of them, nobody seems to know where they've gone.
And have you looked into extra legal means?
Extra legal? Oh, quite the word. What do you mean extra legal?
Well, I mean, sometimes people in certain positions are able to afford means that are a little bit outside the realm of the law.
Oh gosh, you mean like black market?
Wow.
Oh, you would never
Bounty
catch me buying something
hunters.
off the black market. No, that's
Oh no, of course not. No, nothing in here even suggests black. I would never say that.
thank you.
No. I'm more suggesting to retrieve what was yours and has been taken from you. Bounty hunters, collectors.
Oh gosh. Oh, had I pearls on, I would be clutching them. That sounds dreadful. But yes, you know what? I will ask my security to look into it. As long as it's not illegal, just extra legal, it should be fine.
I mean, private detective work is there's nothing illegal about that.
Of course. Oh, thank you. That is invigorating. Maybe perhaps I can get my things back.
I wish it nothing but the best for you. It's
Thank you. You have been lovely guests. And it's coming around to the 2 hour mark. I would love to keep you for longer, but I do have another prior appointment I need to get to. Any final questions, thoughts before we end our day?
Ask Chris if there's anything else he wants to know about.
No, just being free.
So, yeah, so I'm gonna be a little bit out, like drift off to the side myself to be weird for a bit. So I'm gonna imbue a point of legend for a cosmic perspective. This is page 260
Thank
out
you.
of the hero book. And so, if you want to read it or if you don't.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to look back to the robbery. And I really kind of want to see, like, I want to do it like as we're exiting and see if I can I don't know how this power works. I don't know if, see if I can kind of follow it and see what's going on a little bit, like as it's not just, just because, we know that the exit happened here. And then if I can follow to see what happens next, if there's any more information I can see. I don't know if I can do this while walking. I don't really know how this works. So
Yeah, that's nice and loose.
I would love it for it to be like a hologram overlay of
So
flashes of light and so on, or whatever,
actually, let me check.
like an augmented reality of.
So I think it probably works different for different people. So for you recognize that you're going to need some time outside. So you're going to be able to look up at the stars at night in this place. So you're gonna need a little time on campus. It doesn't necessarily have to be on campus. You have to at least be within eyesight of this door, and it's going to take you some time to connect with the stars and see. Now, I'm guessing you haven't done this before. Like your character, has your character never done this before? This is
No.
gonna be our first time. Perfect, love it. So you recognize that much. Beyond that, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're just going to suddenly gain a new perspective, if you're going to what's going to exactly happen. But you do know you're going to look up into the stars. You're going to kind of get zen and be the point of legend, and then you will be able to go back to that moment in time.
Okay.
I guess it doesn't have to be at night. The stars are always there. You just can't see them during the daytime. So yeah, actually, whenever you want to, but it's going to be something you kind of need to be stationary for however long you're observing. You do recognize that there's not like a fast forward. You'll be observing in real time of that event.
Okay.
So how do you want to play that?
Yeah, I mean, I'll let's see.
It's wild that this is just imbue a point of legend.
What's that?
It's wild that this is just imbue a point of
It
legend. Like
seems
after
super
the scene's over, you'll just get it back.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so you said I need to be like, I need to be able to, be outside and see this place. Is there a spot where that's possible?
Yeah, I mean, either here, and you all figure out, you might be able to figure out a way to like have a picnic on the lawn. I don't know. Or you can see it from the road. It's a longer driveway, but there's no hills. So you can see it from the road through the gates if you need it to be out of her house.
Okay. I'll start this right now. I'll kind of dip back and I'll have like my ringtone go off. I'll pretend I'm taking a call. And I will like be like, sorry, 1 second. I'll kind of try and duck off and pretend like I'm talking and listening and just kind of like look up. Hopefully not into the sun.
Well, so like here in the house.
No, like out in the yard or whatever. Like
Got
once
it.
we, yeah.
Okay, got it. So out in the yard.
And I'm not going to spend a real long time at this point. Like if I have to come back and do longer, I'll do it. But I just kind of want to try and
See, yeah. Okay. Got it. So yeah, you take a moment, you're pretending, and at some point you stop talking. Like you realize you can't even be talking because you need to kind of focus and zen in, and you look up and you connect with the stars, even though you can't see them. You don't look at the closest star. You connect with the stars, and it's strange. You're seeing, like, you look around and you're seeing through your eyes, but as you start to take in this scene, this history, because you do have some concepts that Mike had mentioned. I assume Bogey mentioned that it was around dusk, and the date that it occurred.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else kind of disappears. The sun quickly sets or comes close to setting as it comes to dusk. Time does fast forward in that way. The gate opens and closes. You don't see anybody entering or leaving until suddenly you do. It's as well, this form starts to come forward, but the form is lined, shaped in blood. But you don't think this person's actually bloody. You think this is how the Teodal see things when they're seeing the past. And you still get that description, right? So they're in some type of covered clothing. They got some type of hood, and you can see there is a face, but you can't see the face. From your perspective of where you're standing, you see that figure walk directly to the door, and simply the door opens and they enter. Your perspective shifts as if you're walking in behind them. You imagine yourself following the scene. And so you enter in behind through the door, slipping yourself in, because in your mind, you still need to physically move past these barriers. And you see this figure quickly go to these 5 objects. And either remove the case, or if there's no case, remove the item, and put them into some type of bag. Like the bag isn't distinct in itself. Again, it's another bloodied outline. But this person clearly knows the 5 things that they're getting. They go and get them, and within a few minutes, they come back towards you. You step out of the way. Still, again, your mind is a physical realm, and again, the door opens and the door closes as they go through, and you follow back through, and they walk towards the gate, and the image dissipates. The lines of blood that made up this person, which again, you had some decent details on, but it wasn't like us looking in a camera with a full flash, and just continue to walk away. And as they're walking away, those lines of blood disappear and dissipate. So like this is the scene, and so that was them entering and leaving the scene.
Okay.
And it takes, Desh, I assume at some point you start chatting her up again, even though she needs to go. She's happy to talk to you. Of course, you've been wonderful, and she does mention, I need to go. But you know what? Just one more thing, actually. Good to be, prosperity. But that does take probably a good 5 to 10 minutes for that person to have gone through that scene, and you collect that information. True.
Okay. Come out of that and be a little bit weird. No, rush back over. Sorry. I had to take that.
Oh, my sweets. I really must get going. You all have a lovely day. You ever want to visit again, please come by. This has been absolutely fantastic. Wonderful to chat with you. Wonderful to see you for the first time, and hopefully not the last. Oh, you're muted, Johnny.
Sorry, I'm trying to turn off all the things that would make me slow down. Yeah, but it's been wonderful. You've been a wonderful host. We appreciate it, and I do wish you luck in getting your items back. And if I hear anything, I will certainly let you know.
Thank you, my dears.
In person.
Wonderful. She, motions and back towards your car, which is in the drive, and then she starts heading back into her own actual house, not the museum house. Okay. Yeah. You visited the eclectic lady, May Watts. Go ahead.
Yep.
As you're driving away.
So look over Bogey, like, what?
Yeah, Chris was hanging out in there. I guess he goes there a lot. Because a lot of really interesting exhibits, and he likes to listen to the tours. But he was there when the robbery happened.
Oh.
He didn't see the guy come in, but he did see him take some stuff and leave, and he just walked out the door like it wasn't even locked.
Yeah, I was able to see the same thing when I looked back.
Look back.
Did you?
What do you mean?
Yeah, when I was over there, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I can see what the stars saw if I focus on it.
Whoa.
I guess when you're looking at stars, you're looking into the past, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of that. You just kind of focus that in, but I'd never done it that way, and it was.
Did you see the guy?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, they're not super detailed, but yeah, I mean, I could see the figure and so I didn't recognize the figure, did I, Sue? If it wasn't like a posture.
Oh, that guy. No, you didn't recognize it as male, as a man. So,
Yeah, I mean, I
Chris mentioned.
could see some of the same stuff that you described, but nothing more specific other than also, yeah, I mean, he just walked right in and walked right out. Like the security was nothing, right? It was just doors opened. I can't remember. Did he press on the door or did it just like open in front of him?
It was like he was walking up to the door, and a part of it is the part you're not sure about, because again, this is the first time you've done this, but yes, he walked up to open the door, and then the door was just open. So it was kind of like a glitch. It was closed and then it was open. It did not swing open. Now, whether that is something to do with how this works, or if it has something to do with however he entered, whatever it was, the door was suddenly open. We went through and it was suddenly closed.
Yeah, I mean, he just opened like immediately. Like it was like a glitch or something. Just boom, open. I don't know if that's exactly how it happened, but that's how it appeared to me.
Chris, does that like sound right? Did it just appear open, or did you see
Wait,
it?
Chris is in the car with us?
Yeah, I told you he's coming back with us.
Oh, I didn't see your last text. I'm sorry. I was
No,
busy talking.
like he put his hand on the door and he just pushed it open.
All right.
Like he's describing a normal movement of a door.
Right, like it wasn't even locked. You're like just opening the doors.
Yeah. Yeah, like not locked or latched or anything.
That's wild.
So this fellow's got some ability.
Yeah. I wonder if he was a Titan.
I didn't think about that. It's not pleasant to think about.
Carter, did you pick up on anything in there?
Nothing felt different. Everything looked up to par. The cameras were pointed just at the right angles that I would have had them at. So the only thing that would have made any sense didn't make sense.
What do you mean?
Just from what I know, cameras should have picked up something. Should have. That's the thing that doesn't make sense. Like the camera should have picked up something, the computer should have said something, the security thing should have said something.
Well,
Nothing said it.
like if I have a mind to, I don't have to get picked up by a security camera. Like that's just a thing.
And we didn't see the camera, so as pleasant as she was, she might have been lying about
Right,
that for some
but
reason.
that's the thing is just remember all good security inside should be matched outside.
Like maybe he just doesn't show up on security footage. Well, the thing that I don't get is like, if those things were gone, right? Like if they're already gone, then why didn't they look like they were gone until the next morning? Like why'd they look like they were there all night? So like that seems like that's more interesting than getting in and leaving. Like how'd you do that? I don't know.
Well, no, that's the thing, right? Is that both things are connected. one is connected to the other.
Well, like he's able to get in and leave without the security camera seeing him, but like
No,
being able to make it look like it wasn't taken until the next morning.
well, no, he wasn't there until he didn't want it to be there. The stuff is there until he wants it not there anymore.
Right. It doesn't disappear till morning, even though it was taken previous night
Right.
on the camera feed.
Do you think maybe that's just the way he made it appear?
Right, but yeah, like still, that's crazy that it's hours and hours and hours later. I mean, you think that he hung around and like
No, I think it's a situation. I think it's a situation where it's tied to something tied to the night, because it said it was at dusk, right?
Mm-hmm.
is when the theft happened, but morning's when the
Right, exactly. From light to light.
there'd be something there for sure. That's more in my domain, but I don't know anything about that. I think.
Under the cover of night, all things are possible.
Well, where does that leave us?
Can Chris, though, yes, Chris, if he can drive, like, can he push things around and like make things happen?
And he hears that and he answers to you, Ruby. No.
No, ghosts can't affect people. That's everybody knows that.
That's a
Everybody's-
poltergeist.
What's that?
That's a poltergeist. Poltergeist can totally do that. I was just trying to figure out what Chris is. Is he Casper or?
Chris is Chris, man. Like he's fine.
Javi, pull over to the next Taco Bell. Sorry, guys. That's what we got tonight.
Grande meals all around.
Sir.
Wait. Can we just go in looking like this? Can we just go and sit down and eat in there? How do you feel about
Yeah,
it?
pull to the drive-through. It'll be better.
You're going to old person prom.
Okay, so one thing I could do, I could try and go back. Like I kind of lost him at the gate. I could go back some other time and try and pick it up outside the gate and see what happened. But I don't know if that's going to give us much.
Did y'all get enough of a? I mean, I know you didn't recognize him, but like, could you see enough of his face that if you saw him again, you would recognize him?
No, I didn't get. I could maybe. No, I mean I could say it's not that guy. You know, I could say it's a lot of not people, but no, I couldn't say for sure who it was if I saw him. But if I saw somebody like that, I'd say, yeah, it could have been. You know, that fits the description. That's the build, the posture, the haircut.
Yeah, and even the face, like, yeah, I'm sure at some point, like, you tried to change your perspective to see the face. It's not that you can't see the face, it's that it's like the face was sketched with lines of blood. Like blood was used as the ink to sketch the face, and so it's not quite detailed. It's detailed enough to recognize that it's a face. If you saw it again, like you just said, it'd be kind of like yeah, maybe, but it's not so detailed that you'd be like, oh, give me a lineup I can point to, just because of the way that the blood etches the scene.
Sounds like it would be a really cool art style for like a cartoon. A creepy cartoon. Etched in blood.
Yeah.
Well, and the most we got to add that is we know how the theft happened.
Kind of.
We know how it happened. We know it was one person. We know it happened in the evening. We know that this guy has some sort of dominion overnight. We know.
That's an assumption, but
Yeah.
we know he has some power of some type. He's probably not just a guy.
Yeah, we know that he's at least moderately aware of the confluence. Like,
Well, he knew exactly what he was going for too. It was pre-planned. You know, I wonder if we could figure out like who'd been there. 'Cause somebody had to go there before to know exactly what was in there. You know, one of her like private tours or something.
oh yeah,
May not have been the same guy, but somebody. It was an inside thing because he walked straight up to the things. He wasn't shopping. It was you know, go here, grab, go here, grab.
Yeah, but
walk
if he
right.
knew exactly what he wanted, though, he may not have needed to have gone there before.
You're right. Well, but he knew they were there, right? It wasn't like he didn't look through the whatever exhibit, right? Because he, you know,
Right.
he knew.
yeah.
It seemed like he
if we
knew
could get,
the
like,
5 things he was going for, right?
I wonder if we could get like visitor logs.
What?
If we could get like visitor logs, because like if he was there before, it was just a person visiting.
I don't think she keeps visitor's log. Because I don't think too many people visit. At that price, I don't think too many people visit.
No.
I mean, I'd be surprised. She might.
I have a contact record, right? Like, should emails, phone calls, like if we. I mean, that's a lot to dig through. I don't know. It might be fruitless, but could be something there, right? Somebody had to know what she had, right? And they had to. Yeah.
And by the way, you do know that like she didn't take a log of you 5. Like Desh, she knew your name because you called and you arranged it and they talked, and like she knows all your names, but like there's nothing that indicated she was writing down or keeping track of who was coming. Because Desh, she didn't even ask any of their names over the phone. It wasn't until you all got there and I sort of introduced yourselves that she even knew what the rest of your names were.
I don't know how long those camera feeds stick around, but you know, you could go back and watch the camera feeds of their previous tours and see what type of people were walking through and what they were interested in. But
What if we just asked her, like, hey, do you have like somebody around my height with long black hair? That dude like come through before the theft?
yeah, that jumps right to awkward. But yeah,
What do you mean? Like,
well, like we're not just rich tourists anymore. We're private investigators with supernatural powers.
And I feel like if she had wanted to give that up, she would have told us. She would have told me.
well, she didn't know that she was looking for a guy that was my height with long black hair.
Oh, you think she knows who it is?
I think that she doesn't mean to know, but she might know. I don't think she, because like if they knew right where they were going, then like maybe they were there before. So the only way they could get there before easily is if they did the tour like we did. I'm not gonna like say, oh yeah, Chris told me about the dude that robbed you.
I wish we had our hacker buddy. What was his name?
When?
Man, that guy, man, he could be useful right now. Hack the cameras, get the feed, get all the information we need, hacker emails.
Well, we could call him to do it, but he changed his number and we're not to get in touch with him, no.
He wanted nothing to do with the confluence. He was resistant.
All right. I think we'll leave it there for this time. Pick it up there next time. Figure out what we're going to do to find our mystery person.
Well, thanks for hanging out. And I think we'll be back next week with D&D. No, we won't
No,
be back
maybe-
next week with D&D. We'll be back another time with some games. So we'll see you all then. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.